this human history, it's evident that every developing civilization started from agriculture. In a long time, with investments in technology, tools, irrigation and land, it flourished. But this ignorant use of biotechnology is such a strong weapon, leading to upsurge of genetically modified crops, is not only damaging the environment, but also probing questions about its safety, efficacy, and even the very necessity of GM crops. The future of agriculture that we are dreaming of is already someone's reality, like USA, providing the results of its long-run failure. As it is seen, the yield of these GM crops increases for initial years, but after that, it either stagnates or drops down, diluting the whole motive of their use. Now, the plight doesn't stop here. The big farm owners of America, owning thousands of hectares, might be able to cope up with this fluctuating yield. But that won't be easy for farmers having small land holdings, especially in countries like India. And along with that, the exorbitant rates of GM seeds, whose new batch has to be purchased every single year. The expensive fertilizers and pesticides are on one side distressing farmers, whereas on the other side seems to be profitable businesses for the company. And the plight doesn't end here too. The next tragedy in line is the ecological imbalance it will lead to. You all must be aware of the concept of co-evolution, isn't it? When you modify a crop, a new pest will evolve even more resistant. The same case is with the weeds. The increased use of herbicide-tolerant variety will only result in selection of resistant weed varieties in a much shorter time scale. Since 1996, the 57 weed species have gained resistance to the herbicide glyphosate. My worthy opponents have been listing the achievements of BT cotton. So here I am to lift the veil of lies. The BT cotton, which was introduced in India in 2002, provided only fleeting benefits to the farmers, whereas enormously increasing their cost of cultivation and risk. Ladies and gentlemen, you all would be astounded to know that the pink bollworm has recently gained resistance against Pt toxin. Now what? A new variant of cotton? What's it? This is what I'm trying to convey. Rather than tackling a more resistant outcome with another GMO, it's better not to create conditions for that, and hence exiting this vicious cycle. Even the acceptance of a fiber crop like cotton was a great challenge. The thinking about the GM food crops, it's even more difficult, as we are still not aware of the future health issues that might arise from it and environmental hazards it might lead to. As evident from the determined battle of environmentalists in Supreme Court of India against Delhi University's genetically modified herbicide-tolerant mustard variety recently in the case. So now the adverse impact of these GMOs on genetic diversity is also not hidden. These GMOs might crossbreed with the non-GMOs or the wild relatives, which might prove problematic if they acquire unwanted characteristics like invasiveness. Have you ever heard of zombie grass? Let me tell you about it. It's a genetically modified creeping bent grass having an insertion of herbicide-tolerant gene in it. And its instances of hybridization with a wild grass has already been documented. And together, it's leading to extinction of 2 critically endangered plants and a Vanderbilt butterfly. In an direct or an indirect way, we are driving evolution by anthropogenic actions and hence hampering the mother nature. My enthusiastic contenders have been claiming that these GMOs have null effect on human body. Really? So I want you to defend yourself. How? How you can be so much sure in a game of this roulette, in this game of chance? Just because something is not giving an immediate effect, it doesn't mean it's not harming you in any way. Just wait for the threshold to be reached. And I would like to make my worthy opponents aware of the facts that they may have deliberately ignored. That the genetically engineered food, the first genetically engineered food, the flavored sour tomato, has shown that the consumption of this product resulted in stomach lesions in the lab rats. Along with that, there are sufficient studies to show their detrimental effect on immune function, and the carcinogenic nature has already been highlighted. And along with that, some foods may contain allergenic components which can be consumed unknowingly. As I would like to press forward, the case of the Monsanto company has been charged for not labeling their GM foods and leading to allergenic reactions in their consumers. Even after all that, are you really ready to be certified guinea pigs? Question yourself. Now, most of the large economies of the world, like France and Germany, have already banned the GM crops. But with the increasing environmental concern and food demand, we have to look for a holistic approach which satisfies both. Moving towards organic farming would be a good step, where pests and weeds are not eradicated but are kept at a manageable level. Along with that, practicing mixed cropping, adopting techniques of hydroponics and cocoponics, where many scientists sitting here, they must be knowing, and investing in irrigation systems and using of biofertilizers have proved to be good moves towards sustainability. Reaching towards the conclusion, I want to make it crystal clear that I am not against the innovations and revolutions. And in fact, innovations are an indispensable part of growth, we all agree. But with advancement in technologies, we have to take even greater care that it does not lead to the degradation of present state of resources and creating something hazardous, even difficult to tackle. We have to save ourselves from falling into the state of monotony and depriving our posterity of the very essence of nature's untampered good.